All right, so now we're interested in evaluating functions. So when we have a function defined and we want to plug in an expression, it may be just as simple as just a single value into a function. There's a pretty straightforward process of doing this. I'm going to change colors here, use blue. So let's start out with A. Let's figure out what this process is. So notice that where we had the x, now we have -5. So notice here we have an x, here we have a -5. So if we're going to find f of -5, what we're doing is we're going to be replacing the right side of the equation. Wherever we see an x, we're just going to substitute -5. And just a best practice, put parentheses around whatever you're substituting. So in this case, we're substituting -5. So wherever you see an x, put parenthesis the value. So the x is being squared, so -5 will be squared, and then we still want -1. So notice that this is identical to this, but where we have the x, we have parentheses the value that we're plugging in. Okay, and then at this point, we just need to simplify. So -5 squared is 25, positive 25, since -5 times -5 is a positive 25. And then we subtract 1. That gives us 24. And we're done. F of -5 is 24 for this function, x squared minus 1. Okay, so let's move on to B. B, we are asked to find f of 3b. So in this case, we're not plugging in just a single value. We're plugging in an expression, in this case 3b. Okay, so similarly, wherever we see x on the right side of the equation, we're going to put 3b. So where we had x, we put 3b. And again, put parentheses around whatever you're substituting. So instead of just 3b, we put parentheses 3b, and that's being squared, and then we're subtracting 1. Okay, after we're done substituting, we simplify. So 3b squared is 9b squared, because we want to square the 3 and square the b. And then we subtract 1. We're done. At this point, we are done simplifying. Okay, let's move on to C. There we go. C, we have 3f of b. This is a little bit different. Before we had 3 inside the parenthesis here, but now we have 3 outside. So what this is saying is we want to find f of b, and then at the very end, we want to multiply that by 3. So let's go ahead and find f of b and multiply that by 3 in the end. So f of b is wherever you see x, put a b. So we're going to be multiplying all of this. So entire f of b is going to be multiplied by 3. So we need parentheses around all of this. So 3 is being multiplied by all of f of b. So where we see b, or x, we want to substitute with b. So we just have b squared. We could put parentheses around that, but in this case, it really doesn't make much of a difference, because it's just like having an x, but just with the b, and subtract 1. And then now we need to distribute the 3 through the parentheses. That gives us 3b squared minus 3. And we're done. We're done simplifying. We can't, there's no other like terms or anything like that. We're done. All right, let's move on to the last part. And we'll use this color here. And we want to find f of a plus 3. So f of a plus 3, in this case, we have a binomial. We have a binomial that we're plugging into the function. So anyways, we have a plus 3 being placed in for wherever we see x. So we have x squared. So now we have a plus 3 in parentheses. We really need it this time, squared, because we want all of a plus 3 to be squared. And then we're subtracting 1. So a plus 3 squared is the same thing as a plus 3 times a plus 3. Repeated multiplication is what an exponent does. So that will end up being, I'll just do it on the side here. Actually, we'll just do it down here. A plus 3 times a plus 3 minus 1. That's equal to a squared plus 3a plus 3a plus 9. So that's just this part. And then we still need to subtract 1. Combine like terms, we have a squared and then 3a plus 3a, 6a, and plus 8. And we are done. All right, so that's how you evaluate functions for certain values and actual expressions. Let me know if you have any concerns, and I'll be more than happy to help.